Hello students, having seen air pollution, now let us look into water pollution. So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, that is lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers and groundwater. So the pollution can happen in either groundwater, aquifers, oceans, rivers or even lakes. So water pollution occurs when pollutants are directly or indirectly discharged into water bodies without adequate treatment to remove harmful compounds. I can give simple example. Now here house we are using detergents and soaps for cleaning clothes. But are we treating that water? No, that we are putting that water directly in the drain. Similarly, some industries to save money, whatever other chemicals they are using, they are straight away discharging it into the water bodies. They are not bothered about treatment because the treatment will cost money, na? If they want to neutralize the pH, then if they want to kill the microorganisms, it will cost money. So why to waste money? They are straight away dumping it in the water bodies, in the rivers. I think you read in newspapers also in Bangalore, so many fishes are dying in lakes, ponds and all because of this pollution effect. So what are the causes of water pollution? There are several causes of common water pollutant. These are disease causing agents. Like disease causing agents are known as pathogens, which include bacteria, virus, protozoa and parasitic worms that enter water from domestic sewage and untreated human and animal waste. So what happens, this human excreta, animal excreta, if it directly goes into the water, then it causes disease. Okay, that there is E. coli, that is called as E. coli. Human waste contain bacteria. Large amount of human waste in water increase the number of these bacteria which cause gastrointestinal disease. So all this waste, not only human waste, animal waste also contains bacteria. And if it gets into water, this human waste, that is why sewage water pipelines are different and drinking water supply pipelines are different, and they will be far away so that the water does not get mixed up. The next category water pollutants are oxygen depleting wastes. So please understand, water has got oxygen, around 3 to 4% of oxygen, and because of that oxygen, a lot of microorganisms are living and surviving in water. Like we are surviving on earth. Why we are surviving? Because we are breathing air, and air contains oxygen. Okay. Similarly, water also contains oxygen. These are organic waste that are decomposed by aerobic bacteria. What happens if there is we put the organic waste in the water, then the bacteria which require oxygen, they are known as aerobic bacteria, they will decompose this waste, and in the process of decomposing the waste, okay, large populations of bacteria use up the oxygen present in the water to degrade this waste. I told you around 3 to 4% of oxygen is there. But if the population of this bacteria increases, then they will take away all the oxygen from the water, and the oxygen in the water reduces. In the process, this degrades water quality. The amount of oxygen required to break down a certain amount of organic matter is called as a BOD. The amount of oxygen required to break down a certain amount of organic matter is known as the biological oxygen demand. The amount of BOD in the water is an indicator of the level of pollution. So when water is there, especially we will find out the BOD, that is called biological oxygen demand, or even that is the amount of oxygen required to break down the organic matter. Or else there is one more term called as COD, that is chemical oxygen demand also. So the BOD will tell you the indicator of pollution, because if there is organic pollution, then bacteria will take. So bacteria will take the oxygen. That is how much oxygen is required, that is found out through a term called as BOD. The third category of pollutants are inorganic plant nutrients. These are water soluble nitrates and phosphates that cause excessive growth of algae and other aquatic plants. See, please understand NPK. NPK means nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. These are the fertilizers which we normally use. Okay, they get into water. Okay, and because they get into water, then they cause lot of growth of algae and other aquatic plants. They may interfere with the use of water by clogging water intake pipes, changing the taste and odor of the water, and cause a buildup of organic matter. So excessive amount of nitrates and phosphates, okay, can clog water pipes can change the taste and odors, odor means smell, of the water and cause buildup of organic matters. And the fourth category of water are soluble inorganic chemicals, which are acids, salts and compounds of toxic metal such as mercury and lead. Okay. High levels of these chemicals can take up water unfit to drink, harm fish and other aquatic life, reduce crop yields and accelerate corrosion of equipment that use this water. So if some industries, they may release like inorganic chemicals such as acids, salts and oxides of toxic metals such as mercury and lead. Both mercury and lead are toxic. Okay. And what will happen, they make the water unfit to drink, they will harm the fish as well as other aquatic life, reduce the crop yields and accelerate corrosion of equipment. So now let us look at the effect of water pollution. The main problem caused by water pollution is that it kills organisms that depend on these water bodies. Okay, so for example, you take fish. If we are in a pond, there is fish and we leave a lot of pollutants. What will happen? The fishes will die. Pollution disrupts the natural food chain as well. So the food chain is, we have seen in earlier discussion what is food chain. So this pollution disrupts the natural food chain. Pollutants such as lead and cadmium are eaten by tiny animals. Okay, so you should understand that these small chemicals like lead and cadmium are eaten by small animals. Later these animals are consumed by fish and shellfish. Okay, and the food chain continues to be disrupted at all higher levels. So this is the way, these pollutants end up in big fishes also. And nowadays you might have heard that some fishes do contain some amount of pollutants. Ecosystems can be severely changed or destroyed by the water pollution. Groundwater contamination from pesticide causes damage within wildlife in ecosystems. Sewage, fertilizer and agriculture runoff contains organic matters that when discharged into water increase the growth of algae, which causes the depletion of oxygen. As we have discussed, formation of algae due to this nitrates and phosphates will increase the growth in algae, and that reduces the oxygen, because the oxygen is eaten away by the bacteria which decompose these things. The low oxygen levels are not able to support most indigenous organisms in the area and therefore upset the natural ecological balance in rivers and lakes. Drinking contaminated water causes skin rashes and health problems like cancer, typhoid, fever, stomach sickness in humans. So we get problems like stomach problem, typhoid, fever, cancer, etc. Water pollution causes flooding due to accumulation of solid waste and soil erosion in streams and rivers. It can even cause floodings. You have seen recently. Oil spills in the water cause animals to die when they ingest or encounter it. So if oil spill is there, then whatever this marine aquatic life is there, they eat and they die. Oil does not dissolve in water, so it causes suffocation in fishes and birds. So if there is, suppose there is a pond and there is water on the surface, that the oil will cover entire water, because oil is lighter than water, and so all these fishes inside will get suffocated. So now we will look at the control measures of water pollution. So the foremost necessity for prevention, setting up of effluent treatment plants and treating waste through these can reduce the pollution load on the recipient water. So there is something called ETP, effluent treatment plant, or sewage treatment. So you can have the look. So this is one central ETP. There are two types of plant. One is called ETP. There is effluent treatment plant used by industries, and another is STP, that is sewage treatment plant used by the municipal bodies. Okay, they both treat the water and they neutralize the water. They improve the oxygen level in the water, okay, by aeration, and then they make it whatever damaging effects are there, they will reduce and then release the water. Okay, and mostly it is recycled for non-potable uses like bathroom, gardens and all. So this is the figure of a ETP, that is effluent treatment plant. So if you look at pollution now, water pollution, it will not only go into the surface water, what we are seeing. Now you can see the aquifer and wells here. So this will not only, these pollutants will go into the surface water, but they will also go into groundwater. You can see tube wells. So this especially chemicals and all which are available, because water moves from one place to another place, and that is why the effect of transferring is more, like in the case of air pollution. See, please understand, whatever water we are having in the world, 97.5% is salt water, that is in oceans. We can't drink that. Again, ocean water contains around 4% of salt. The fresh water is only 2.5%. Okay. And in that water, this fresh 2.5% water, 70% is locked in glaciers, 30% in groundwater, only 0.3% is available in lakes and rivers. So there is a fine balance. So we are seeing the now ETP. The treated effluent can be reused for either gardening or cooling purposes wherever possible. So the treated water is not used for drinking, but is used for other uses like gardens or cooling. How we can control? We can use environment friendly household products such as washing powder, household cleaning liquid like toilet cleaning, bathroom cleaning. Whatever these chemicals we are using, we should now go for environmental friendly, eco friendly products. You may say nowadays you are seeing products, they write that ozone friendly. Okay, so you have to use environment friendly basically. And also excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers should be avoided. Nowadays a lot of awareness is going up for organic food. Organic food, not this chemically, where you use chemical pesticides and fertilizers. So we should avoid, we should use natural pesticides and natural fertilizers like cow dung, manure and all. And please don't throw litter into the rivers. You have seen a lot of pollution, plastic and all other things in the rivers, oceans and lakes, and dispose it in the designated bin. So whatever waste is there, like you go to the beaches, don't throw everything litter on the beach and come. So there bins are there, dustbins, you put in the dustbin and come, so that it gets recycled or disposed properly. And suspended solid particles and inorganic materials can be removed by the use of filters. So if there are any suspended particles, like I have seen in the sewage treatment plant, when entire like Bangalore city I have seen, huge water gets into that. So there are bar screens are there. So bar screens will filter all the plastic bottles, cups, chappal, whatever this plastic rubber thing, it will remove that. Use of biological filters and processes can naturally degrade the organic waste material. So as we have seen, this organic material in the water bodies like lake and all, they take a lot of oxygen, and that's the quality of water gets spoiled. So instead of that, you can use biological filters, so that the degradation of water does not happen, and they can degrade the organic waste material. So these are the few measures. So we should try to use the less number of chemicals, whatever it is, and do not throw this plastic and other material, wrapping materials in the beaches, in the cities. Only in the designated dustbins we should throw them. Okay, thank you.